again from the Pen Boutique. I'm Ellen, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about Montblanc's signature limited edition commemorative pens. I'm not going to get into the lines that they have all the time, which range from like their classic Meisterstück line to stuff like M and M Red, which contributes towards AIDS research. They have a lot of wonderful things that they have going on, but they have those going on all the time. So I'm going to talk to you about limited editions. I think limited editions are the jewels of Montblanc's lines. The detail that they put into the pens, the imaginativeness, everything that you can only find if you look really close and you care a lot about the pen is something that I think is wonderful. I don't think anyone does it quite like Mont Blanc. They have a lot of different commemorative lines. Starting here, we have great characters. Enzo Ferrari is one of their newest great character commemorative pens. And then we have the Great Masters line, which is a little bit different, but we keep it here with great characters. Right now, the only great master that we have in display is exotic leather. It's not a specific person, but it commemorates that art. And there's a python leather and an alligator leather, which are like notoriously difficult to work with. Now we have John F. Kennedy, and then we have Walt Disney right next to him over there. If you guys want to leave in the comments specific pens that you want us to get more information about and talk about every single detail, I would love to do that. We just don't have the time here. Down here, we have the Beatles. I love this one, super iconic. You can recognize that one across the room. Down here, we have Elvis, which is understated, but still a cute one that I really like. And then that's gonna conclude great characters. Moving on, we have Patron of Art. So there's the normal Patron of Art, and then there's the Patron of Art 888. This is the 888. It's very, no, it's not. Is it? Don't move. Think about it for a second. And you'll hopefully, can you just cut this? Wonderful. I don't think it is the 888. I'm gonna not say anything about the 888. Okay, we're gonna go from...
You're gonna open this one up, right?
Yeah. Okay. Right. So, we have Moctezuma, who is a patron of art for like the Aztec. He was the Aztec emperor. This is a really interesting clip we have here. Really gorgeous, very heavy. I love the colors in this pen. I've never seen a pen like this that has this type of design, but he was an Aztec emperor. Like the highest point, like the Aztec Golden Age. Then we have Napoleon Bonaparte, who obviously contributed heavily to not only art, but also like the collections of art in France and how it was presented in different museums. We don't have that one out right now. It's stuck in our box. We have Pirelli, which we also don't have out right now, but that's a tire manufacturing company. And then over here, transitioning away from patrons, we have our writer's edition. So up top, we have Brothers Grimm, which is our newest one. Obviously the Grimm fairy tales. On the left over there, we have Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, and he is the author of the iconic Little Prince novels, which we have a bunch of different pens in those lines. Right in the middle here, we have Honoré de Balzac, which is more famous in Europe, in France particularly, but he's a French artist and playwright, and he's famous for the Human Comedy, which talked about like life in the era right after Napoleon took power, but he's an excellent figure, like world-renowned. And then moving onward, we have Arthur Conan Doyle, obviously the author of the Sherlock mysteries. Very fascinating historical figure as well. Moving down here, we have homage to Homer, who is the alleged author of the Odyssey, the Iliad. He's a legendary bard. And then over to the left, we have Victor Hugo, who is, again, obviously the author of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I love those pens. I love the details in those pens, which mimic like Notre Dame architecture, which is gorgeous. Moving downward, we have Around the World in 80 Days. This is not a writer's edition pen. This is just commemorative of the whole work, and Mont Blanc does this. It's done this with Little Prince as well. And it just has multiple pens that are slightly different in style, but that commemorate that work in general, and I think they're gorgeous. Moving over here, we have the Muses collection, and we start with Greta Garbo. Then moving down, the iconic Liz Taylor. I love the color of these pens. I think it looks like the color of her eyes, which were so iconically like violet colored. And then all the way at the bottom, we have Marilyn Monroe. I think those are super cute. I think they look like lipsticks. and I love Marilyn Monroe. So moving forward, we have the UNICEF that I briefly mentioned earlier, and then Petit Prince, which was like a line similar, again, as I previously mentioned, to the Around the World line. But our last pens that we're going to talk about are the Mont Blanc Heritage pens that we're celebrating their centennial. And they have a bunch of different pens in that line, but this is one that we have on display right now. It's orange. I like this serpents on it a lot. I think the cases for that line are really cool. We also have an Egyptomania heritage pen here, and those ones are really cool as well. We did originally have one that was like gold that I really liked as well. And then the last things we're going to talk about are their donation pens. So they have a donation pen for Gershwin, and then they also have one for Chopin. I'm not sure about Gershwin, but I know that Chopin goes to, it's like the proceeds are distributed for various like institutions of the arts and like foundations that provide support for the arts. But that is going to conclude our commemorative rundown. But if you want to hear any more about any specific pen, let me know. And I just remembered, thank you so much, Laura, that I was going to talk about this pen right here, which is commemorative of Peggy Guggenheim. So the Patron of Art line, which is this is a part of, all celebrate patrons, and I think they do a pretty good job of doing patrons of different periods of art. Like, for example, Albert and Victoria are, which we don't have in stock right now, but they are representative of the Victorian era and their influence there. But here, Peggy Gershwin is a famous collector.
Guggenheim.
Oh my gosh, Guggenheim. There's a lot of G words here. Famous collector of modern art. So a lot of the modern art that we have today, and artists that we consider to be iconic modern artists, and things that we consider to be like the foundations of modern art, or like the principles of modern art, are based off of kind of her taste and what she considered to be art. So she's really cool figure. There's a museum to her in Venice, actually, that I was able to see, not go into, but I did get to see. And she's a really cool lady. I love all of the prints on this. So barring my occasional slip-ups, this is now a full rundown of our limited editions, and thank you so much for watching.
If you like this video, please do not forget to subscribe. And if you do love pens, inks, stationery, and also wanted to be updated with all new happenings in pen world, we can be found in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Addresses are below. Thank you for watching and stay safe.